I'm David Bloom,
I'm Dylan Mattingly.
and we're the co-artistic directors of Contemporaneous, which is a new music ensemble based here at Bard, and we are a not-for-profit organization founded in New York State, and we do a lot of performances and recordings of music from our time here in the Hudson Valley and in New York City. Contemporaneous is really a niche thing at Bard. It's not something that's really present in any other form. It's an entirely student-run ensemble, and we do all music by living composers, and that's not really something that's monopolized by any other group.
It's all totally new music, and so when it's music of the people that go to Bard, and it's music of our generation, and music of composers that we like, and it's music that describes our world. And so there's a real demand for that, and in the same sense there's a real demand for discovering new music, and the act of discovery in music is a really exciting thing, and it's something that has a burgeoning set of audience, and
Right, and especially at Bard, that it's been an incredibly receptive audience and very adventurous audience that's really open to what we're doing and very supportive.
yeah, but I think it's not just supportive but creative,
Totally.
and that it's contemporaneous is something that would eventually have had to arise from the culture at Bard, I think.
Beyond that, we are releasing our debut album on Innova Recordings, which is a really cool St. Paul, Minnesota-based label, the label of the American Composers Forum, and it's album is called Stream of Stars, 3 pieces by this fellow.
And David's conducting, and on 2 of them, and Contemporaneous is featured. Contemporaneous is performing on all the tracks, and it's sounding really good. Anybody who's really excited about Contemporaneous or excited about performing new music will have something that they can do in Contemporaneous. I mean, there's so much variety in what music can be like. So, like, for instance, we have our semi-annual In C jam session, which is where we play Terry Riley's In C, and that's a piece that can be played pretty much any level of musician on any instrument, and it's always great, and it's always different, and it's always a lot of fun.
It's always in a different place on campus.
Right. We actually did it at the Poughkeepsie Day School with like people as young as like 6. So there are ways to be involved in Contemporaneous if you want to be, no matter what, even if it's not playing some of the harder music. But yeah, I mean, we have some fantastic players in Contemporaneous, so it's really fun to play difficult music.
Right. So recently we played at the Poughkeepsie Day School at the invitation of Sue Scheid, who's one of our. Well, I guess that's not entirely true.
Josie
Holford, who's the director of that school, and we're planning more events like that and more outreach. It's definitely something that's lacking in the new music community that we definitely want to try to start doing.
There's a sense that like very young kids wouldn't understand new music or something like that, where I think it's usually the opposite. It's certainly the opposite for me. I'm only just now starting to derive any pleasure from any old music, but I think most new music is more easy to understand for a younger person because it's directly connected to their experience. If you're writing music now, then you don't have to go through that translation process of what has the last 300 years done to this piece and what does it mean to be listening to something that's old. So I think actually makes a lot of sense. If you want to do outreach of classical music to younger audiences, you should play music that's written closer to when they were born.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Bard for everything they've done in supporting us.
That's right.
It's been a really supportive environment, and it's a lot of fun to play here.
So Contemporaneous plans to become a professional new music group, chamber orchestra size ensemble that will hopefully do some touring, most likely based in New York. So that's sort of the professional trajectory that we're planning.